Thanksgiving. The time of year when the fall season starts to come to a close and the holiday season has begun. It's a time of year when you and your family gather around the dinner table, say your blessings and your thanks for all you have. Let's take it back a bit, as this Thanksgiving, I will be focusing on one of the most beautifully animated series with the aesthetics of Thanksgiving. No more fooling around, my name is Brucesnoop. It's time to enter the unknown and over the garden wall. For those who haven't heard, Over the Garden Wall is a mini-series, meaning 10 episodes long, 11 minutes each, that debuted on Cartoon Network in 2014, made by the creative mind known as Patrick McHale. The story follows two brothers, Ward and Greg, who are trying to find their way home in the woods, bewaring of many evil and wicked monsters that lurks these woods. There, they find a smart-ass bird named Beatrice, and together they move stealthily and safely without getting in danger with any evil spirits, including the main antagonist, the Beast. Each episode centers on Wirt, Greg, and Beatrice finding a new scenario while on their way, and their solutions to solving those situations, from staying on a boat filled with frogs to ridding a young woman's demons inside. Now that I've gotten all the exposition out of the way, let's get on to my actual thoughts. The first thing you may point out about the setting is the animation. I absolutely adore the fact that they chose fall-like nature colors and a very quiet atmosphere to settle the mood in. When they do big shots in the woods, it's almost astonishing to look at.
Where are we?
In the woods?
I love the many homages to European folklore in the Brothers Grimm and the art style. It's fresh to look at CN trying something new instead of just rehashing the same style and humor in all their shows. The backgrounds are so beautifully rich with how well they're painted. So much imagination that is pulled off in the show, from the character design to the scenarios to pretty much everything the show nails. They can also pull off the creepy and frightening moments very well. The storybook type setting also fits in and can also keep your toes curled for what's come to next in this faraway land. You can definitely tell the animators gave it their all to make the show look as attractive as possible.
I call that mud over there! Yeah!
The focal point of the show is the characters, and they are very well written with many secrets and mysteries to them. I just can't help but be on the edge of my seat when a character reveals something about themselves. Other than that, the characters are very likable and they have many varieties to their personalities that make them interesting. There's a balance of the characters having fun to serious in a situation. They also have sides to them that you can relate to and sympathize with. Sometimes they'll get into bad situations and you'll root for them to make it out.
Though I am lost, my wounded heart resides back home.
You'll also get emotionally attached. As for when someone is going through some sorrow, you feel bad for them and you feel sorrowful as well. The pacing and progression of the story is just plain flawless, bar none. At first, it starts off with a very vague exposition, but as the series goes on, we learn about the lore of the spirits and the characters compellingly. I'm not going to spoil what happens to characters in the story. I'm encouraging you to watch the series with no spoils, but I will say this. All your questions that you will ask in the beginning of the show will be answered in a way that will leave you extremely satisfied. I'm glad it was only a mini-series, as they were quite limited on how much time they had, so they had to squeeze in every important moment in order to keep you invested in what's to come. The soundtrack is something I describe as beautiful. There are many pieces of classical, but they can also fit in some lighthearted musical notes, and it fits in together very nicely. Some pieces, however, feel grand and makes the series even more awe-inspiring than it already was on its own. The voice cast is also very interesting as well. Not only casting Christopher Lloyd as the woodsman,
Don't you know the beast is afoot here?
Elijah Wood as Wirt,
Just a pathetic pushover who relies on others to make all his decisions?
Hey, what? I'm not a pushover.
but also child actor Colin Dean reprising his role as Greg. He really pulls off the innocent brother to Wirt pretty well. Sure, you may lose some flexibility on how the lines are delivered, but it's charming to say the least.
I tripped on my own candy trail!
So now that I've given you my final thoughts, what is my final verdict? Is Over the Garden Wall a show that you should check out? Yes. If you are into very eerie and bizarre situations mixed in with some lighthearted humor, Over the Garden Wall is for you. Over the Garden Wall has such a unique flow to it, and it'll show you how far children's television can go. In summary, Over the Garden Wall is a show that will impact people with memories forever. And those are my thoughts on Over the Garden Wall. This is a new type of video where I'm actually showing my face. I'll gladly be able to use it more if I like how this turns out. I hope everyone enjoys this video, and I sincerely wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and a happy start of the holidays. Go spend time with your families and be grateful for what you have. Anyways, I'll be heading out now. Go check out my social media pages, support me on Patreon, and subscribe to my second channel. That's all I gotta say. Brucesnoop out.
And over the garden wall